We're going to be
We
talking about
can
pet peeves today and what we've been up to.
uh we're gonna talk wait.
What are we doing today? What are we doing today?
You put forward the idea of talking about prepping for a con.
Yeah, fuck, man. Do a makeup test.
No.
Why?
And I talked about how I wanted to talk about how it's important to have at least one topic to perseverate on that everyone's going to ignore you for, but you will at least have one solid bit for the entirety of the weekend that'll either A, make strangers get scared and not talk to you, or B, you're endearing enough that they pity talk to you.
So the reasonable thing that you're saying is have a conversation opener that you're comfortable using in order to make conversation with people at cons.
Hmm.
But you're saying it like a weirdo.
Have you seen the live action 2015 Japanese live action anime adaptation of Death Note?
Okay. Which one do we want to hit first?
Uh, we'll start with a recap of our WWE Hear Me Out March Madness.
Okay.
Do a little quick bit like, wow, I can't believe it. Our baby girl of 2025, Ash, is
We
solidly
can't
still
say
running
who.
his
Oh,
high.
this comes out after. You're right. We
Hmm.
can
Hmm.
say who.
Yes, we
Man,
can.
can't believe it. The baby
Ash,
girl. I'm
favorite
so
girl.
proud of him.
I'm
He
so
trained
proud.
hard for this.
He did.
He trained really hard.
He trained really hard.
Um, all right. Do you want to do our intro?
Would I like to do our intro? Of course I would, because guess what? This is the one and only Magpie and Jules Bunniichii podcast.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jules, and I
I'm
guess that was
Magpie.
Magpie. And
Welcome to
this is
Bunniichii
the
Corner.
Bunniichii Corner.
Corner podcast. Yay!
Podcast. Yay.
Hey.
We should record one of these in person when we're in New Orleans
Hey,
in
I
the
was gonna
hotel
suggest
room.
that. I wanted to. I
Oh,
was like,
perfect.
Julie, could we? Yay!
Well, we have the same brain,
Same
same
brain,
thought.
same brain. Here's my thoughts
We
from
are
New
the same
Orleans.
person.
We are the same person. We do one of these live where it's just us in the hotel room,
Sounds great.
and then we take street
You
snaps
and me in a
and me on
hotel
the
room?
hotel room. Ha, jokes on you,
Ooh.
people. We got two beds.
Aw.
Oh, so we can each have our own space.
Smart. I love you. Not too much.
Not that much. What do
We
you
have
mean?
bunked before. Remember
We
that one con
have.
that we hated?
Yeah. Well,
Have we
I
bunked
don't
since
really
then?
remember it. I don't really
But you
remember
remember
it.
that we bunked.
I remember that we bunked. I remember that we closed out a bar. I remember that we had
Hmm.
karaoke roulette. The
Drinking
cops came
diet
in.
sodas.
Mm-hmm. The cops came in. They danced to YMCA by the Village People. It was great.
They absolutely did. The only time cops have
Killer.
ever been cool.
Yep.
Um, well, hello, Maggie.
Hello, Jules. It has been
Uh,
eons.
it's been
Uh,
so long. I mean,
husband.
big things happened the last time we talked, though.
They did. I am still reeling with the events of the Hear Me Out Baby Girl madness. I cannot believe that our very own Ash Williams is Baby Girl
I'm so
2025.
proud of him.
So proud of
It was
him.
a well-earned victory.
It was truly well deserved. He fought his way to the top. There are
Tell
quite a
me,
few.
Maggie,
Mm-hmm.
does this mean that he gets to come back to defend his title in 2026?
Absolutely, because we're playing by WWE Royal Rumble rules here, right?
Of
So of course
course,
our
I know exactly what that
previous
is.
champion, yes, you do. You use babyface and a heel turn. You understand wrestling to an extent now.
Uh-huh.
That's all you need to know for wrestling. We need our Royal Rumble champion, baby girl Ash Williams, to bring his title forward and see if Next year's potential baby girl will take it from him, or will he reign
At,
supreme? All long live the king.
at what point do we do something stupid and do like a wrestling Tokyo Mew Mew costume?
Who says I haven't already designed it?
Like, that sounds so Maggie coded.
Why, yes, it does. And before you ask, yes, all their wrestling designs are heavily based by the 90s and 2000s versions of WWE. I will die on this hill that that's the best version of soap opera events.
And you know what? I don't know enough to tell you you're wrong.
That's correct. That's why I'm right. Yay, me.
Yeah. Yay, Maggie. Well, good luck to Ash for 2026. I look forward to seeing how well he does. I'm sure it'll be stiff competition.
Closer to the end of the year, we'll bring forward our losers bracket, see if one lucky loser will get to, try and reclaim some portion of respect for
Some
themselves,
dignity.
some dignity for their hear me out.
Some,
So,
of
only a bit.
course.
Baby bit.
Only a bit. A,
I hope
a
Kento
baby girl
wins.
bit.
No, the baby girl bit! Kento deserves better.
It's funnier when you see the images side by side while we're talking about them. I realized that I was putting the graphics together. I was like, what have we done?
We created a masterpiece. That's what we've done. And here's what's really made me continue to feel bad for Kento. Because when we did Hear Me Out with Kento, I was only on episode 4 of 10 episodes of
Have you
Mei-chan's
learned
Butler.
more?
I have since watched the entirety of the drama.
How was it?
Fantastic, a masterpiece.
Would
Um,
you recommend it?
yes.
Unironically, with a little
Uh,
bit of irony.
yes.
Okay.
I would have to tell people going into it now, I would let them know, I'd be like, okay, firstly, you have to take out any prejudice you have for live action adaptations. Take that out of your head and throw it out the window. Next, I want you to know going in, there is no consistency with lighting. There is no consistency with makeup. The hair is fried as hell. There's so much hairspray and gel that half the time the hair does not move. And the
Nor
CGI
should
bits
it.
are really bad. But I think that Mei-chan's Butler deserves a chance. And if someone had me sit down in the middle of a con hallway at 1 a.m. to explain why or explain the whole plot of it, I would. And that's what then led me into this understanding that, well, it went from that to, I want to watch more anime, but also I don't want to watch anime, so I'm going to watch another live action adaptation.
Right, you want
Right.
lowercase a anime.
Yeah, so now I'm watching the 2015 Japanese live action adaptation of Death Note, which
Oh, which
is,
oh, that's
yes,
a
it's an
choice.
accumulation of both the stage play, the manga, the anime, and a sprinkle of their own little juicy bits going in there. I have
I see.
evolved as a weeb. I am above all of you in that I understand how truly amazing and next level live action adaptations are. You have to be at a certain knowledge and understanding to respect them. I want to be them.
I mean, you were already kind of there. You started with One Piece live action and you stayed
Yeah,
there.
yo, yeah, yo.
Um, but I do think that this leads in well to your thesis of the day.
My thesis of the day is that I'm better than everyone else.
I mean, I was gonna say, that gives you a really good talking point, just to
Oh,
start
that's right.
conversations with strangers.
That's right. Because when we are a weeb, wait, when we are a weeb, when otaku
When
get
we're weebs.
together, when otakus and weebs and gaijins get together in a little hall, and hopefully they have at least some Axe body spray on them, there is no such thing as stranger danger, because we're gonna tell you how to interact with people at a convention.
Ooh.
Wow. I talk to people.
So honestly, one of my first cons that I went to, even before I got into like cosplay,
Hmm.
was a really small local con in the town where I grew up, and I was waiting in line for an autograph. And I think when you're in line is the easiest time to get to know people,
Hmm.
because you're in forced proximity. And as fanfic lovers, we all know that's the start of something great. Um, but I just happened to have a deck of cards on hand.
Hmm.
And we were all just sitting on the floor waiting for the person to
Hmm.
come do autographs. And I just started playing, what was it, like spades with the people around me.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so that's my piece of advice. Always have a deck of cards because you never know when you'll need it. And they were Dragon Age cards. So that told people I like
Oh,
Dragon Age. And then we could talk about
another
Dragon
starting point.
Age.
Yeah. Very
Eh?
big brain. Big brain.
Big brain.
When I first started going to cons, still young, so obviously was at least accompanied by a mother. My father did not go. He did not tread those dangerous waters, and I'm happy for
Nor
him.
should he.
No, instead I dragged my mom along to the weird fan fiction panels. I feel so bad for her sometimes.
You know, there are a lot of times I'm talking to my mother, I just start apologizing. Like, nothing happens to make me do it. I just start thinking, I'm like, Mom, I'm so sorry for everything you had to put up with.
See, the thing is, sometimes I'll just like talk to my mom about like either cosplay or just like when I'm talking about something that we do, right? And then I'll just remember the fact that I went to San Japan one year and I didn't want to go alone. But I was an adult at that point. I could have, but I didn't want to. So I brought her. And what's the one thing that you do when you are newly 18 or 19? You go to an 18 plus panel. What did I think to do?
Take your mom to an 18 plus panel.
I took my mom to not only an 18 plus panel, it was a fan fiction rating 18 plus panel.
Aggie.
I didn't think it would be that bad, but also, as we found out last week, is that I'm a degenerate through and through, and I don't realize that some of the stuff that I listen and take in is questionable on even the brightest of days. And you don't realize that it hasn't impacted you as much as it should have until you're sitting in a room with a bunch of weebs and your mom sitting right next to you, and the person with the mic starts reading a um, Mario Brothers fan fiction where it's Waluigi and Wario in a
Mm-hmm.
very precarious situation with spaghetti.
Mm-hmm.
There
I don't
was
want to know.
also yeah,
That's
there's also a
enough.
Sonic Naruto fan fiction crossover. That was
That's
interesting.
enough.
Okay.
Anyway, you 100% lost the thread.
I did.
Advice to
Prepping for
talk
a
to
con.
people at cons. Advice to talk to
Talk
people
to
at
people
cons.
about cons. If they're cosplaying and you know the show, you can say, "Hey, I like your cosplay. I like this." Or if you want to get like Jules, what you were saying about taking advantage of a meet and greet, like autograph panel space. One of the first few conversations I had with someone who wasn't a friend was in one of those autograph lines.
Mm-hmm.
Because what one of the few autographs I actively have is Vic Mignogna, the voice actor of Edward Elric and Tamaki Suo. And so I ended up talking to, yeah, no, I have it because it was
Now a mistake.
now a mistake. I still have it because it's on my Oron High School Host Club manga. Can't get rid of that. Well, I could, but I also
You
feel
know,
bad
there was a
throwing books
time,
away.
yeah, that's fair. There was a time I was collecting autographs.
Hmm.
You know, some voice actors, I'm sorry, they're just way too fucking uppity. I'm done.
I don't
There's
really
some
get
voice actors who
autographs.
are gems,
Yeah.
like absolute gems
Oh, yeah, for
and
sure.
wonderful people, and I really want their autograph. I already have all the
Hmm.
ones I want. I have like five. We're good.
Yeah.
Um, but like, do you remember? that con we went to where we were rooming. Um, day
Which
one,
one?
uh, where we shared a bed.
Which one?
We closed out a bar.
Oh, that one.
That one.
Huh.
Day one, I was supposed to, because I had rolled over tickets from the year that they
Mhm.
canceled for COVID, I was
Mhm.
supposed to get like a voucher for a free, like, skip the line autograph.
Hmm.
Do you remember that whole kerfuffle? And then like they weren't honoring
Yes.
it, and then they were trying to honor it, and then they weren't again.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
remember. Yeah.
I was getting the autograph from the guy who voiced Tengen, because at the time I had
Mhm.
this idea to like have one poster and get all the Hashira autographs on it.
I
He
remember that.
was
Yeah.
an absolute jerk.
Oh,
Like he wasn't like a monster or anything, but he was
yeah.
100% very short with me
Hmm.
and a little bit of a jerk because I wasn't paying for an autograph. I had a voucher.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think that's the last time I got an autograph.
Oh,
Anyway, making
yeah.
friends with people at cons, we keep losing the plot.
Right, right, right. Making friends with strangers, ignoring stranger danger rules, because ultimately we don't know that.
I think you're right though, using whatever you're in line for as a jumping off point, because at that point you'd be like, "Oh, you're in line for this, sewing
Hmm.
101 panel. Have you sewn before?" Or, "Oh,
Yep.
you're in line for the AMV, like watch along. Like, what's
What was your
your like?
first
Have you made
AMV?
AMVs?
Yeah,
Yeah. Which is the one that you remember the most?
I remember so
Oh,
many
you're in
Naruto
line
one.
to get an autograph from the person who voices like Haruhi
All these
Suzumiya. Like,
words.
wow. Do you
Whoa!
like the melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya?
Haruhi
Who's your like?
Suzumiya?
What was your favorite
Wow!
episode?
Ah, which one? I could count them all.
But like, I think that's a good way to start a conversation.
Hmm.
At that
And
point, you
the
have to have the social awareness to continue a conversation, but we can't teach that.
no, we can't fix you if you don't want to be. Um, but it's true, because one of the best ways of interacting with others is by acknowledging a shared common interest. And you're already at an anime convention. All right. So any of your typically non typical, your atypical hobbies are more typical. And we're all
Yeah.
nerds and we just want to nerd out and be little gremlins with people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're able to find
So,
that shared interest, it's a great starting point. It might not lead to like a long-term friendship, but even just like
and
making a con friend or an
every
acquaintance or an
I don't think
interaction.
every interaction needs to go past one.
Yeah.
I think we need to normalize just having a conversation and moving on.
Hmm.
Like, it's okay. It's okay to not
Yeah.
exchange numbers or discords or whatever socials you're on.
Right.
It's okay to just have a nice 10-minute long conversation and move on with your life.
Hmm.
I think we
No.
should normalize
I
that.
think I think a few years ago I wouldn't have agreed as heavily, but I do. I definitely agree. I do agree with you because I think society as a whole has kind of lost the ability to conduct short form conversations,
Yes.
or a lot of
100%.
socialization as a whole. If you know me, I just love talking and hearing myself talk.
It's
Also,
true.
I'm passionate, so if I like something and you have gotten me going, I will keep going until I forget to breathe.
It's a problem.
I think it's a blessing in
It's
disguise.
both.
There we go. I'll work with
Um,
it.
I think the internet has, we're about to get off on rabbit trail number 7.
To be
I
fair,
think the internet
this we don't
done
have a
a
true
dis
topic this time. Mm.
we're chatting. I think the
Yeah,
internet has done a disservice to the younger generation, especially in regards to if you were like in high school or
mhm,
early college during the pandemic, I'm so sorry, you're fucked up.
yeah,
Um, because I don't There's an art to a casual conversation. There's
conversation.
an art
Mhm,
to small talk. There's an
mhm,
art to these, passing moments that make up humanity. And a
Yeah.
lot of people are completely either inept at it or disengaged with it and unwilling to have these conversations. And
Hmm.
I think they are doing themselves a great disservice in the long run for it. And I
Yeah.
think that might be, wow, we're going real hard here. I think that might be
Perfect.
part of why we are having a general loneliness epidemic in the United States. Because
Mm.
we are unwilling to have even these surface level conversations because of the concept of, well, what's the point? The point is that we as humans are herd animals, we are social
Yeah.
creatures. And to some level, you have to be willing to engage with human beings who are breathing the same air as you.
Hmm.
Like, that's important. And it
Yeah.
is a
For
skill,
sure.
and it is a skill that you lose if you don't use it.
Yeah. I absolutely
Anyway,
agree.
I think
Well,
cons are a great way to practice that skill.
they are because there's typically so many people there, right? But you
And
all
you already know they're
share,
freaks.
yep. So, and you all are, most of them probably have a lot of difficulties interacting with others, to say the least. Even you and I, Julie, have had difficulty interacting with others, and we acknowledge it.
Yep.
But because you're all in this one confined space, typically you're landlocked at a con, especially if you're
Forks
from out of town.
proximity.
Oh, that means you have to be interacted with. This is all a cage study where we're observing human behavior. It's an experiment to see what behavior will emerge in such a small environment with socially inept individuals who will
The answer may
find
surprise
one.
you.
It might result in a podcast, or it might result in a 5-minute conversation.
Yeah.
Either could happen. And one thing I think that is so you can't really find it outside of convention setting is individuals' passions for the hobby outside of a very specific like community gathering. You're not really going to have that ability to focus all that passion that you get from like maybe a manga and find someone else who has that shared passion and just
Yeah.
connect over it. If, because like what? At NDK, there we go. This is a perfect jumping off point or example. At NDK, I was Tamaki in honor of my cosplay anniversary. It was wonderful.
Yay.
Congratulations to me. Congratulations to Julie's and my friendship. So many things
17
happened that
years going
weekend.
along.
Wow. Wow. That is.
Actually, whoa,
But
hey, I made that number up off the top of my head, but that might have been right.
anyway, so I
How
saw
close was I?
people.
How close was I?
You were 2 years off, man.
Oh, I was so fucking close. Anyway, you saw people.
We saw so many people dressed up from Oran High School Host Club as
We
part of
did.
the
It was
host club.
wild.
And what I had already decided on ahead of time is that I would do Tamaki and I would do a bit that I did when I first cosplayed Tamaki, which I would hand out a rose to people who asked for a picture or if I wanted to interact with them in some way. And so I did the same thing for my cosplay anniversary. Oh, and it was so fun because then I had the jumping off point of doing little mini interactions. And I have a picture of two other cosplayers who also were from the host club. I believe it was, I know it was Bunny. I mean,
Yo, yeah, right?
it was Honey and Kyoya.
Yeah.
And like, it's one of those things where out of my typical Texas element, I was back. I felt like I was pushed back and reverted back to little teenage me who was so nervous to go
Mhm.
outside. It was a little baby Maggie. Julie, you could
You were
definitely see the
nervous.
difference. I was just like,
You were nervous. I've never seen you like that.
it was totally reverting back. I was like, should I talk
I
to
was like,
people?
Maggie, just go say hi.
And I was like, no,
What are
Julie,
they gonna
no.
do? Like
I don't
swerve
know.
you?
I don't know, Julie. I don't wanna.
Criminy.
but I use the roses and also Miku's birthday as a jumping off
It was
point.
Miku's birthday.
which we did not know about ahead of time. The fact that I dressed up as a cosplayer who cosplays as Vampire Miku was a total coincidence, was the fact that it coincided with Miku's birthday. And so the roses became a weekend long thing of conversation points, finding Miku cosplayers, handing them a rose, saying happy birthday, little 30 second to a minute long conversation. Then we did. And
And the more I'm thinking about this, the more I'm
uh
getting thoughts. One thing I would advise people to do, especially if you're a cosplayer, is have a list of responses in your head for when you get a compliment.
mhm,
I like when I get a compliment to find something to compliment that person about.
yeah.
Glasses, nail polish, hair, a charm, their shirt. Just if they're like, wow, I love your costume. You're so pretty. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, those glasses are adorable. People fucking beam.
Yeah.
They are so happy to get an actual response and a kind human interaction back.
Mhm.
So, if you are a cosplayer, I would recommend having a little list of don't fucking lie. Don't just make
No,
shit
you
up. But
can't you can't lie
have an
cuz that can be
idea.
read.
Yeah. Have an idea of like these are a list of things people like to
Mhm.
get complimented on. Assess your target, pick one of
Mhm.
the things and compliment.
Lock on, draw 'em in. Headshot. No, I
Yeah,
agree,
or like
Julie.
if you
You
know what
you
their
need that.
costume is, like,
Mhm.
oh, I love that show that you're from. It's
Yeah.
so cool that you're cosplaying that character. Like,
Mhm.
don't just say thanks and move on. Like, talk. Say
Yeah.
something nice.
And like if you maybe know the show but haven't seen the show, be like, "Oh, wow, I've heard some great things about it.
I've been meaning to watch
To watch
this.
it. Sell me on it in a minute or less." Put him on the spot about it.
Oh
Um,
yeah. I
I've
like that
done that.
actually. That's fun.
I've
It's
done that
fun.
with Vampire Night.
If you have a few minutes to chat, that's a good thing to do.
Yep. And
Yeah.
also giving yourselves like those little time constraints can be really fun dependent on the person. Someone like I'd say Julie, you and I, we excel in those kind of improv just on the spot type of situations. Not everyone's going to, but you can kind of read off of body language. If you came up to Julie and I at a convention, we're like, "Oh, thank you so much. Da, 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 da. Oh, I like your shirt. Is that a Tokyo Mew Mew shirt? Da, 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 da. I
We
love
can
Tokyo
talk to
Mew Mew Mew
literally
Mew Power
anyone.
Mew Mew
It's
Grace
kind of
Mew
a
Mew Power in
problem.
your face."
We can talk to literally anyone.
So we would thrive. People who are hesitant to talk, don't put them on the spot to sell you on a show.
Yeah, you could read when someone's a little nervous or introverted.
Yeah.
You can read it. You can see it. At that point, that's when you just give a sweet compliment and move on.
And then
Like,
move on. Yeah.
the goal isn't to make people get out of their comfort zone. The goal is to
No.
assess where someone's at and meet them there.
Yes, I agree. And I think that's one of the
Um,
coolest parts about conventions as well, though, because it's that little confined area where you can practice having those types of conversations and skills. I
yeah.
think a lot
And I
of
mean,
young adults now don't have those skills, both because of COVID, but also due to um, just this increased presence of social media and the internet, which has
mhm,
decreased the amount of physical interactions.
mhm.
Physical, not in like handsy. We're not okay. Well, anyways,
In-person interactions.
there we go. That's a more technical term,
I got
but
you,
it's
Mags.
a lost. It's becoming a lost art form, and
Yeah.
we need that as humans.
Like, think back on what we were saying that we liked about NDK, right?
NDK.
The
It
number
was
one thing
small.
that we kept talking about was that everyone was so nice.
Yeah.
It was easy to talk to people. And like, have I talked to anyone since? No.
No.
I did not make any lasting friendships from NDK, but that's
Mm.
okay. I had an awesome time
Yeah.
because the vibes were good.
The vibes were good. I
Like,
still
as
solidly
compared
think about.
to
Sorry,
I
I
was gonna say,
interrupted you.
as
Go.
compared to Hall Mat, where it was like an influencer like
Ugh.
marketing event where everyone was a
Yeah.
bitch.
Mm-hmm.
including us. It was terrible. I had such a bad time. I went to the hotel room, cried, and then we
Yeah.
left the convention.
We went to Universal.
Because people were just mean. And
And
like
the worst
Michael
part is we
complimented
started
a
feeding off that. Yeah.
yeah. Michael complimented a Y'shtola cosplayer from Final Fantasy, and I
Mhm.
was there for it. And she like dead ass turned and like glared at him, rolled her
What?
eyes, and walked away. And I'm like, girl, do you want to throw hands? That's my
Yeah.
man.
Get
Girl.
him, Julie. Get him, Julie.
But like
I
I do not understand cosplayers who are up their own
Mhm.
asses. I don't get it.
Like the only thing that I can understand is when you're doing kind of like a kayfabe thing, if that's your bit. If that is a solid
That is
character
not
that you're
Y'shtola's
doing,
bit.
but but wait, hear me out. Right. Because it can be a character, but you have to have this point where you realize that you turn off the character. Right.
It's the whole LARP concept
Yeah.
of making sure everyone involved is consenting to what is happening.
Mm-hmm.
If I just want to say I like your Y'shtola, I am not consenting to you being a bitch to
Thanks.
me.
If you don't want to talk to people, just say the nice, oh, thank you, and then move
And then
on.
keep going.
That's it. You don't have to be mean. You could just acknowledge it, say thank you, and keep walking.
Yeah.
Because what I
It
remember
takes like
I
an eighth of a
did,
spoon to say thank you.
yeah. Because now that we're talking about Hall Matt, I'm thinking about it, right? And
Right.
there were a lot of cosplayers where I remember I would like compliment them or say something just in passing,
Do you
and
remember that
no
Tokyo Mew Mew cosplayer? I was like, "Oh, I love your Tokyo Mew Mew," while I was mint, and they were like,
resentment. Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
"Girl."
It was anytime it was something that we knew, or because like I remember there was someone who cosplayed um Barbie or Claire
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
technically
yeah.
from Barbie presents the Nutcracker, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's Barbie. It's the Nutcracker. I was super excited. They were not having it, and I was like, ah, shit. Well, man, I suck. To be
Man, we
fair,
should
I
do a
will
Barbie cosplay
say
sometime.
we could do Princess and the Pauper.
I was thinking that
Eh, girls!
one.
Ah! It's Bunniichii colors. It's Bunniichii colors.
Okay.
I'm
Okay,
just like
save that idea.
you.
We'll put a pin in that.
You're just like me. And more than anyone can see.
We'll put a pin in that one,
Put a
Max.
pin in it. Put a pin in it.
Um, anyway,
But
you were like, "It's Barbie!"
and she had a nutcracker. I was like, ah, it's a nutcracker. But also, I'm keeping in mind, right, that I'm betting half of the reason why my um, interactions were tarnished was not because I didn't get the same energy, but because it was out of the element. The whole vibe was off. Also, debilitating pain almost the entirety of that
You were
trip.
suffering.
I was suffering.
You were suffering.
But we got to meet Blue. We got
That was
to
good.
meet Blue the
You know, I feel like
dinosaur.
one of our goals for 2026 should be
Mm.
like to pick one out of state con and go, like Emerald City.
I still want to go to ECCC or
That's fine.
C2E2. I think those
Yeah,
that would be fun. I like
I
this.
think we should. You know what? Another pin. We'll put a pin in that one as
We'll
well.
put a
Just
pin
put it right over there next to Barbie.
in. Barbie.
Barbie comes
Hi,
to
Barbie.
C2E2.
We do the
Um,
C2E2 or Emerald City, and we do Barbie and Alice.
Perfect. No notes.
That's it.
Um, but I do
And
think this
Bunniichii.
leaps out of the idea of
Have you
talking
heard
to
about
people.
Emerald University?
Wow, you know, I have. I heard that they have a
Have an
failing
idol
idol club.
club.
I think this brings us out of talking to people and brings us into shit about cosplay that annoys us. Maggie, do you have any cosplay
Eh,
related pet peeves? Other than when
my
cosplayers are bitches who are up their own asses.
okay, wait. So my I have I'm trying to formulate
Are we gonna tell
I
on ourselves?
well the thing is we've already had our hear me out, so we've told our we've already told our on ourselves for some things, and I've already outed myself on way too many things.
You
So
got canceled.
I canceled myself, Julie. You can't top that. And then we broached the one of the topics that you never talk about at a dinner party, which was politics
Politics?
and
That's
economics
true.
and tariffs.
Let's go.
Ugh. What are my
Here,
peeves
I'll
for
start. I'll start. Are you
cosplayers?
ready? I
Okay.
really fucking hate it when people have chipped nail polish. I'm not talking, I just got a chip at the con and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm talking, you
Hmm.
painted your nails 2 weeks ago and like
Mm.
just absolutely disgusting chipped nail polish. Just fucking take it off. Just
Without
take it off.
crackle.
Just take the goddamn nail polish off because I see it in your photos. If you think no one's going to notice in my photos, I'm noticing 100% of the time if you have nasty ass nail polish.
Ooh,
Like,
you know
just have
what?
bare nails. Just
I
have
agree.
clean, bare
I thought of
nails
some.
at that
I thought of
point.
some. I thought of some. I thought of
Okay.
some.
And
Really,
I know this is petty. I know it doesn't matter, but it bothers me.
this is Petty Paradise. Welcome to Bunniichii Corner. Uh,
Oh, I like that.
thank you. Thank you. I am great at titles. Uh, filler, horrible. I can't do it. Also, what I can't do is thinning wigs that are like, I can see your hairline and wig cap, fix your damn wigs, all right? And if you're gonna put money out for a wig, don't get a cheap ass Party City wig, all right? Party City wigs are already trash, all right?
I
And
mean,
they're
Party
the
City's
fibers
gone
are
under,
too
so
thin. There's not enough wefts, okay? There's not enough wefts
yeah.
so that I don't want to see your actual hair if you're wearing a wig, all right? If you're gonna wear a toupee, go for it. Sure, go for it. I don't care if people wear toupees. I don't care if you wear those little halo rings or whatever that makes it look like your hair's more full. Wear extensions. Do whatever the fuck you want, okay? If you're wearing a wig, do it. Just commit. Don't lay down
Honestly,
$15 for a ratty
people
ass.
need to understand as well. Bobby pin your wig into fucking place.
Yeah. Or if you don't want it, okay. So here,
Do the little
here
X
are
bobby pins.
I have three options for people if you are wearing a wig. One, bobby pin it. Well, first, wear a wig cap. Wear a wig cap.
I do
This is
not
my
understand
first.
people
Okay.
who don't wear wig cap. How do you not?
Because here's the thing, when you're wearing a wig cap, it's already going to push all that hair out of your face so that then it makes it look like you're bald, all right? And what is a wig but hair? I don't want to see your actual hair through the wig that is supposed to be your hair. Okay, I want a bald egg head that then has hair placed on top of it.
If you aren't
And the wig
Saitama
cap,
before the wig goes on, you're doing it wrong.
you're doing it wrong. And then from there, here's what you can do. A, do the X bobby pins to keep it in place. If that either A, hurts your head because you got a sensitive scalp, or B, too overwhelming from a sensory perspective, great. I have other options for you. Wear one of the velvet head grips. They're a velvet headband. They go all around your head. It velcros in the back so that then it stays in place. Or get one of the wig grip headbands that are silicone. And yes, they make them in clear so that it doesn't show through the wig. I don't want to see your wig grips coming
Ooh, what
through.
about people who don't glue down their lace?
Don't get me.
That's ratchet.
It's so ratchet. All right, like okay, there's one
Like, I
thing
understand if your glue has come undone, but you can tell when
that's
your glue
fine.
has come undone.
Yes. If
But
you
like
have
just
put down
flapping out in the wind,
no.
like letting
So
God
what I
decide
if
where it
we're doing
goes.
where's your hair gonna go? We don't know. Oh, she gone. For lace wigs, I have I have three distinct pet peeves for lace wigs, for lace fronts,
All
right?
right, number one,
One, if you're not gluing it down. Two, not thinning out the roots.
not plucking.
Wigs, yeah,
Not a pluck.
if you're not plucking, wigs are high density, especially when you're getting a lace front, because they have to be. They're made with high density so that you can pluck it to best fit your hairline. That's how they work. Thirdly, if you're not bleaching the roots, it looks like you got weird stuff sprouting out of your head. Bleach the roots, figure out, learn, all right? Learn how to work with a lace front wig
You
before saying, I'm a
can't.
pro cosplayer and I'm going to put down money for a lace front wig.
Oh, you're thinking of someone specifically. I can see it in your eyes.
What do you mean?
No names, no names, I know. People need to understand you can't just take a wig out of a bag and put it on your head.
No, you can't. I wasn't born with this. It wasn't Maybelline. It
Like,
was a wig.
so I am impulse making a cosplay
Mm-hmm.
for Saturday. It's Celine from Fields of Mystria because that game has me in a goddamn
Chokehold?
chokehold. I
Mm.
can't get free.
Okay.
Celine has blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
It's long, it's straight, it has poofy 90s anime bangs and a braid at the
Cute.
back. So I bought a uh silky Nina wig in the color I want to say honey from Arta Wigs. And I
Mm-hmm.
took it out of the bag and I put it on and I did my makeup test. And then I took my wig off and I put it on my head. And I was like, like the little styrofoam head. And here's
Yeah.
the thing, that wig is long, it
Mm-hmm.
has bangs. I could just leave it. But I
No.
didn't. I thinned the bangs, I
Mm-hmm.
curled them, I crimped a little bit on the inside of the wig to give it some
Mm-hmm.
volume at the back. I added my little braids, I straightened out the curls. And then another thing you can do is you can take the wig hair at the
Mm-hmm.
front near your ear, you can pull it back because her hair goes behind her ears, and you
Mm-hmm.
can heat it, you can heat treat it. So when you put it on, it naturally falls back instead of just fucking going everywhere. This is a super
Yeah.
easy style, but it still needs to be styled. Curl your fucking bangs. Curl the bangs. Give them
Curl them.
some volume.
Because guess
The
what?
worst thing, the
Hair
second worst thing you can
works
do.
differently. Oh wait, can I also say one more thing? Just adding on
Yeah,
top of your hate train. Okay.
let's go.
I am done. I'm sick and tired of cosplayers not understanding that wigs with bangs, you gotta trim them.
That was gonna be my next
I
point. Cut
want
your fucking
everyone.
bangs.
Okay, so I understand. Anime, they're like, "Oh, look, I'm someone who's
Swoopy.
from a sekai, from an isekai, and I have like hair swooping over my eyes and you can't see my face at all because I'm
You're
an
the
emo teen
protagonist
kid.
of
I'm
Persona
the
3
protagonist of
or
Persona
Persona
3.
5.
I am Joker from Persona 5. You can't see my eyes. I want
You
anyone
can't see
who's listening
me.
to know. You can't see me. That was another WWE reference. Good job, Julie. That was John Cena.
Yay.
That's not how actual people work. That's not how things happen.
I will also add that
Also, like,
even if you're
it makes
even
it
if your
so
bangs are going to be in
flat.
your face, right? Right?
It makes it
You
so
can't just
flat.
put it there. You have to
No,
cut in
style
layers.
it.
You have to add volume.
Exactly. Hair, you're supposed to treat a wig like hair. Wigs are not hair. They're primarily synthetic unless you're like, I'm gonna buy a
Unless you
human
have a
hair
bunch of
wig.
money. Like
We're
a
not that.
bunch of money.
We're cosplayers. We don't have that. Okay?
You're right.
I know.
This hobby is stupid.
And that's why,
Ooh.
because it's stupid, I'm tired of people not styling their bangs, not trimming it, or being like, you know what, I'm gonna just get a ton of got to be spiked wig glue and just put it in the center of
I
my
am having
head
flashbacks to so
on
many different conventions I've been to.
put it like and
Yeah,
have the
yeah, yeah,
little
yeah, yeah.
swoop like
Right,
just
right near your
hanging
nose.
on your nose and it just looks like a straight line down. That's not how that works. Do you want to know what animators and artists do to create the feel of dynamics and movement? They make things extra long, a bit more swoopy. That's not what it's actually supposed to be like. Anytime that
So
there's
I
like
would
those
also
little
add,
little, and then also with the ahoges, I'm tired of people overextending ahoges. Okay, yeah, it's so dumb.
if you're shitty at cutting wigs like I am, I have massacred enough wigs to know I'm not good at this. I can't cut a wig. But you know what I can do? I can go to my hairstylist
You
or I can go to
can.
Maggie and I can put the
Mm.
wig on my head and I can
Hmm.
explain to the person cutting the wig what I want done and
Hmm.
they will cut it. I know this because I'm doing Isabel from Baldur's Gate 3 and I was telling my hairstylist this and I was complaining that I don't know how to do, the shaggy bob cut and she was like, "Girl, bring it in and I'll
Hmm.
cut it for
Hmm.
you." And I was like, "Oh wow, it's almost like if you just talk to people and ask questions, they'll help."
Yes, it's
But no,
true.
100% like if get someone who knows what they're doing to cut wigs because they're too fucking expensive for you to keep massacring them. That's at me.
Like,
That's a me. I've gone through like five
yeah.
really awful wigs.
But the
And they
thing
were
with
all
that though
artists
is that it, Julie,
ruined. Because
ruined.
I'm like, well, if it ends up good, then I want to be able to wear it. I don't want to practice with.
And you're the one who's always telling me to do mock-ups, okay?
Yeah, this is my wearable mock-up that ends up unwearable and in the trash. It's fine. Um,
Okay.
Also brush your goddamn wig.
Yeah, brush it. Please brush it. Okay, you know what? On the topic of just taking care of your stuff, okay, brushing a wig, obviously. If you have like start learning how to take care of that, bring a wig brush, an actual wig brush around the con.
Do not use the same
The
brush
same
on your
brush
wig
as a
that you use
hair
on your
brush.
hair.
Your hair has oils that will impact the synthetic fibers of the wig.
I would also, okay, hear me out.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
Yeah,
If
we
you
already
are
did
like
that though.
cosplaying Shishomaru or like
Ah.
anyone with really long hair,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
first of all, hit me up.
Sephiroth.
Second of all, Sephiroth. Um, unless you are doing photos, I would highly recommend putting the wig in a ponytail and then pulling the ponytail holder down so
Mm-hmm.
it's like has just a few inches between the ponytail holder and the bottom of the
Mm.
wig so it's gathered in the back so it doesn't tangle and get everywhere. It'll look so nice and unless you're
Maybe.
doing photos, you don't need it to be completely down.
It's
It will
true.
make your
Just
life
create the
so much
illusion.
easier to just kind of loosely bind it in the back.
Mm-hmm. Create the illusion, you know.
None of this is
Most
real.
people, no. And then if you're like, I absolutely have to have it down, then take a note from the theater nerds, all right? You're already a nerd. Like swallow
Be
whatever
more
ego you
be no
got.
more of a
All
nerd.
right. Acknowledge us theater nerds and learn from us because one way that you keep long hair wigs nice on stage, have tool kind of like tubes around it. You can do that and it will
It's like
stay.
a
It'll be
hairnet.
nice. It is a beautiful invisible hairnet. And if you got weird colored wig hair, just get some nice tool. And then you make it. Or you ask someone who knows how to make it for you and say thank you.
Yeah.
And
Buy
that's
him
how
a
you get
soda.
buy him a soda, buy him a Diet
Buy
Coke,
him a soda.
buy him a soda. And they say, okay.
um,
That's how it happens. Collaborate, work with each other, listen. All right, Linda, listen. Also, Linda, listen. I need you guys to start steaming or ironing your cosplays before
iron your
wearing
fucking
them.
costume. I
Because
don't
it
care if you
look,
store
we're
bought.
just,
I do
okay,
not care. I care if you don't fucking iron
Julie.
it.
There we
I care
go.
a little.
Yeah, I was about to say you do too care. Okay, so firstly, if we don't, okay, all right. So I want people to start ironing and steaming their cosplays, right? And if you bought it, please, please, for the love of all that is like fine for your sense of smell, please wash it prior to wearing it. I am
Please wash
tired
your
of
fucking
being
costumes.
I am tired of being next to someone and being hit with the wafts and smells of chemicals from warehouses and just everything that is bad and my IQ continuing to die and deplete and my brain cells just going poof. Julie and I only share one brain cell. It is very
We
important to
gotta take care of it.
we
We gotta
have
take
to
care of
also,
it.
you know what, on the whole idea of sense and like the five senses, it is no longer 2000 people. We don't need Axe body spray. We have evolved as individuals. We now have deodorant. Wear deodorant. Okay? I
Honestly,
don't
here's
care. Okay,
here's
so
the
here's
other
the thing.
thing.
Here, okay, wait. Okay, keep going.
I was gonna say, even if you're not someone who usually smells or gets sweaty,
Mm-hmm.
cons are a different beast.
Yes.
Just carry a tiny thing of deodorant in your
Hmm.
bag with you.
Yes. They
Just
have
carry a
travel
tiny thing of
size.
deodorant.
Do a
It's
travel
great.
size.
It'll make you feel confident. It'll
Mm-hmm.
make people like enjoy hanging around you.
Yep. Because here's the thing,
Like
even if you
it's
don't
okay.
typically exude a body odor, there's different types of sweat, right? Like you have your natural sweat, but if you're
Oh, you
like
have nervous sweat.
if your body's trying to regulate your body temperature, mine does not. But if it does, sometimes you sweat and get smelly. If you are nervous, that's a different type
You
of
can
body odor.
literally smell it.
You can, which firstly is insane. Humans are wild creatures, but
Humans are weird.
j- humans are weird. Hmm, let's observe them. But
At a con.
at a convention, perfect.
NDK.
NDK, Lulu, where you at? Lulu, bring the mac and cheese. But
Return of the
bring
Mac.
mac and cheese. But get one of those small, like travel size things of deodorant. It'll help it'll like, and also if you have any like rubbing chafing of skin, it'll also help there. Deodorant can be used for multiple purposes. Just please make sure you don't stink. And if you're wearing a costume multiple days during the convention, please, please wash it or at least spray it with a vodka and water solution.
Or be wearing undergarments so your skin isn't
Yes.
touching the clothes and
Mm-hmm.
change like your undergarments like you did in the
Yes.
Victorian era. I would also like
Yes.
to remind people that body spray of any kind, Bath and Body Works, perfume, whatever, that is not taking the place of deodorant. And also,
No.
just no one fucking wears scents to a con. Just don't
No,
because
it
it's
causes
awful.
so
Stop.
many. So if you
It makes
are
things
a
worse.
child, the thing is, if you are a child of the 2000s and the 2010s, as in if you're my age or a bit older,
Were you a melon cucumber girl? Cucumber melon?
that in cherry blossom obvi,
Obviously, because you're a weeb.
obvi, whatever. Anyways, if you were listening to me, if you remember the gym locker room before and after gym, we don't need all three. That's right, there were only three Axe body sprays at the time. We don't need all three of them just constantly being sprayed everywhere. We don't need the cucumber melon, the cherry blossoms, and then the beach one all fighting for dominance. Okay? We don't need, there's so many things. And then the glitter wishes, and then, no, wait, it was glitter dreams and a thousand wishes. There was the Taylor Swift, there was
Mm-hmm.
Love Spell, there
Mm-hmm.
was Pink, there was Victoria's Secret, there was Juicy Couture. We
Pink
don't need all
cashmere.
that. Yep, yep. We don't need all that at a con floor. We already have you guys, okay?
I would like to
And
advise any, because
also,
I've
let's
recently
keep in
gotten into
mind,
perfume.
yeah,
If you can smell it on yourself, it's too strong.
yes, it's supposed to be
Because
subtle.
you should go nose blind to it. If you can still smell it, it's too strong. Anyway, please continue.
Keeping in mind that when you're in a big public space, you also have to be mindful of others. Keep in mind that there are individuals that
Oh,
are
you
A,
do?
sensitive. You do, that's right. And if you won't, I'll deck you. You have to be
Yeah.
aware, yeah, that people have different sensitivities to scents. I know that there are some individuals that will get migraines or sensory overload if there are a lot of strong scents. having any of those perfumes or colognes battling, duking it out on the common floor is already going to be a lot. Keep in mind that you are around others and you don't know what may impact them. Doesn't mean you have to alter a lot, but just being mindful that you're not a middle school boy or girl who is trying to cover up the fact that they are a prepubescent teen, but is too ashamed to ask their parents for deodorant and are trying to cover it up with colognes. You are an
Um,
adult.
no longer on that topic. You know what I'm just so fucking done
Ah,
with cosplay?
ah,
I am so this isn't like, oh, I'm so mad at people for doing this. This is just in general. I'm
yeah,
so sick and tired of cosplay shoes.
yes.
Like, unless you are doing a photo shoot, why are you wearing
Mhm,
7-inch tall heels that you can barely walk in that are just going to ruin your feet? Here's a fact about
mhm,
life. You have
yeah.
one set of feet. You will
What?
only ever have one set of feet.
What?
Let's not damage them
What?
willingly. Like,
My feet aren't gonna
I
grow
have
back?
I have plenty of shoes that aren't sneakers that are
Mm-hmm.
very cute and that I can
Mm-hmm.
wear with costumes that
Mm-hmm.
fit the vibe, even if they're not 100% accurate, right?
Right.
But if someone's taking a haul shot of you, how often do they include your feet?
Unless they're
If someone's
weird,
taking a
never.
selfie of you, like with you, how
Chest
often are
up.
your feet included? Yeah,
Chest up.
exactly. No, it doesn't matter. So why are we spending all of this money to get
Mm-hmm.
specialized shoes that we can wear with one costume that hurt and make us slow, do permanent damage to our like metatarsals?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why are we
See,
doing this? No, do
I
you know
mean,
how many shoes I have in my closet that I've worn twice?
Julie,
Too many.
Julie, I've seen the inside of your closet.
It's really bad.
How many times have we bought cosplay specific shoes, Julie?
So I'm now at the point in my life because I also do Lolita, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where if I am buying a pair of shoes, I want
Mm-hmm.
to be able to wear it with at least two costumes
Mm-hmm.
or a costume and a handful of cords or a costume and real life. So, for
Yes.
example, I bought some knee-high brown leather boots from American Duchess for my Frieren costume.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? I can also wear that with cords and I can also wear that in real life, and they are also comfortable. So these aren't just cosplay shoes. These are
Yeah.
shoes that work with a costume, but I wear them outside of it.
And
I
also,
am
if we're
no longer
thinking about
buying
it,
shoes just
yeah.
for cosplay.
No, it's a drain on your finances, and we don't need that. You know,
Yeah,
like
these
plus
things, these
how
pieces of plastic are just sitting there.
exactly how many times are you gonna wear it? Because we all know that cosplay is still primarily flavor of the month.
Of course it
Most people
is.
are gonna just buy it, get rid of it, or it'll just
Just
collect
wear
dust in the back of your closet.
I honestly I don't even fucking care if you're wearing Uggs at a convention. Like, I would rather you do
I
that
would, if you
than
are
make
wearing
yourself
Uggs to a convention,
uncomfortable.
if you are wearing Uggs to a convention, I will be the first one to be like, oh my gosh, I remember when I got my first pair of Uggs. Do you remember trying to make your boot cut, straight cut jeans into skinny jeans and stuffing them in there? Oh, wait,
Oh,
what?
roll like folding them to the side, and you're like, "Oh, sorry, you're 16? You don't remember
What?
that?"
Oh, yeah, no, for sure, for sure. I've never heard of that before in my life. Julie, I can't talk to them anymore. They're young.
But like, I genuinely like feel so bad for people who are just dying for space to sit because their shoes are so uncomfortable.
Yeah. And there's
Normalize
no
wearing
reason to
fucking
have
comfy
that.
shoes.
Yeah.
Normalize wearing comfy shoes
And here's the thing. If you are hell bent on having shoes be
unless you're competing
accurate,
or doing photos.
and that's the main difference. And even then, you can have comfy shoes be part of your cosplay if you're getting photos or competing, if maybe you want to make some shoe covers.
Yeah.
And then that allows you to increase the longevity and the amount of times that you're wearing one pair of shoes for different things. Think about it.
You know, You know what else I hate?
Uh,
This has bothered me for yonks now.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
do
yeah.
you remember back in the high point of Deja Vu D, there was like XNL doing the slow motion music videos and all, but
Yeah.
like he would actually have the cosplayers like lip sync and it like had really cool jumps and it was like a music video,
Yeah.
right? That was really
Yeah.
cool. So that became what we see now of just the slow motion, like doing an action shot or a girl just standing there looking off and like the camera's turning around her while
Mm.
pop music plays, right? I am so tired of those fucking videos because now those fucking videos are just sexy women in lingerie or costume. When
Yeah, okay. I am so mad about the
they
cosplay
used to
music
be
videos. Yeah, keep going.
representative of the actual cosplay community. They
Yeah.
used to be cool costumes or people having a good time or average people or really talented people. Now it's just sexy women.
Yeah. It's
And I'm
uh,
so fucking tired of it.
cosplay music videos, CMVs, which used to be no, I'm not even gonna say like the creme de la creme of cosplayers. It's just truly a true assortment of the people that are going to that convention has been boiled down to the eye candy and the influencers. It's whoever
Only
has the highest
girls.
numbers, OnlyFans girls and the boys, and if it's a cosplay
Bro,
influencer.
barely the boys.
Even the boys have to be
Men
shirtless
need
and
more
have nothing on.
representation in
I
cosplay.
feel bad for the guys. Okay? I feel bad.
Yeah,
Very rarely do I feel bad for men, but I feel bad for the men in this hobby
I
because
do.
I do. It makes it sound like I don't. I do.
No, I
Okay?
do. I genuinely feel bad for men in
We
cosplay. Y'all
do.
have it rough.
You are already in a female dominant hobby, right? Which is already made well, at least it used to be the butt of many jokes because it's essentially dress up for adults. But
Yeah,
also there's this very weird stigma that's set up. It's always been set up for women, all right?
yeah,
Women, we have always been told you have to be pretty and beautiful and fit society's standards and expectations for beauty, as well as fitting anime body types.
which don't
No,
exist.
doesn't happen. But then the guys, boys, you got it worse somehow. Somehow you got it worse. You have to be both a skinny ass twink and you gotta be buff as hell and you have to have like so many other things going on.
You have to be
And
dehydrated as hell. You have to be both
yeah,
beautiful and handsome.
yeah. And you have to have charisma and you gotta be able to like
And you have
act
to be
out every single
tall.
weaves. Yeah, you have to be tall, but you can't be too tall, but also you can't be too short. And there's like it's
Somehow it's
so
worse.
bad. And I think
To
cosplay is the
one second, one
pride
second, one second.
only. Okay,
Asterisks, asterisks. You
asterisk.
don't have to do that to cosplay. You
No.
do have to do that to get attention from people
Yes.
who are filming these fucking cosplay music videos or to get
Yes.
attention on social media.
Yes.
Please continue.
Correct. Thank you. Thank you, Julie, for having that very specific classification. Otherwise,
Like,
I very rarely feel bad for the men's. Anyways, back to my corner. Yeah, to be featured in any of those videos, any of those CMVs, sorry guys, you are not going to be there unless you're the equivalent of a
you have to be hotter
Hollister.
than all of the
You
women.
you have to be an Abercrombie and Fitch model, man. Like you got to be the abs
And
boy
shirtless.
and shirtless.
And sometimes have to be able to do backflips for some
You
reason.
have to know acrobatics or martial arts to get the attention of people somehow.
It's
I don't
I
know.
do genuinely feel bad for men in this because I have
Me too.
talked to
Hmm.
more than one man in my life, believe it or not.
What?
Um I know. Um
Wow.
and it's I they hide it because of male stoicism and the
Hmm.
inherent damage that toxic masculinity has for men as well.
Yeah.
But men are insecure because they're
Hmm.
humans. And it baffles me the number of very attractive and very fit men I have met who have later told me that they don't feel good enough to cosplay. Like
Yeah.
they're not there yet. And I'm like, how fucked up is this?
Yeah.
That you have been made to be so insecure about who you are that you feel like you can't cosplay. And I understand that to some degree. Feminism, the third wave feminism movement has normalized women of different body types and builds and aesthetics and looks. And we have worked internally to fight for that to be more normalized. And we have uplifted each other to the point where a lot of women feel comfortable trying this or doing
Yeah.
this and just having fun with it because we've actively worked through that. The men
Yeah.
have yet to do this. And
No, they have
like,
not.
good luck,
Yeah.
guys. It's a hard fight. You need to do it because it'll be good for you. But like, man, it sucks. It sucks hearing them genuinely have these issues. And I know they're real.
Yeah.
These are genuine issues they're having. And I feel bad for them. Like, it doesn't matter how cool your costume is, you're not going to get attention unless
Yeah.
you're hotter than every woman there.
Yeah. And that uh, I think so like we've talked about this before. Just as anyone who puts themselves out there, especially like and even if you make something, you're putting yourself out there, but you would like to see at least some acknowledgement of, "Hey, that's cool." Even that send you over the moon. And I will
That's
also say that
one compliment.
I also think that one issue that we should have a guy on here at some point
Do we know
just
any
to
men? Who is that?
uh
I have an idea. I have an idea of one. You'll have to reach out because I've stopped
uh
Instagram. I have an idea.
am I going to be the person who reaches out now? Look at me. I'm the extroverted one. I'm proud of me.
Yeah,
Tell NDK Maggie that I talk to people again. Uh,
I will.
but one thing that I would say is that cosplay it does seem more prone to the female presenting individuals because to portray a character, you're expected to wear a wig, put on makeup, dress up, and all these are hobbies that are
Body
more
shaping,
assigned. Yep, body shaping.
sewing.
So many things that are primarily put into the quote unquote women's corner. A majority of the time, anytime I've interacted with a guy who says they want to cosplay, they've always gone with the whole oh, I gotta work out, I gotta get in shape first because I can only cosplay
Yeah.
as yada yada yada. And primarily they're like street fighting game characters that are shirtless or at least and they never really go beyond what they can immediately identify or see themselves as without a wig. Putting on a
Yes.
wig is never in the expectation.
No.
Wearing something different, not part of it.
Not unless you get into the hobby, but like getting through
Yeah,
that door to start with.
way too high. We should. I hate that I'm about to say this. We should have a guy on the podcast.
Oh, we have to have men on. No, I have some names that have come into my head.
Oh, I have some names too. Good for
Oh
us.
wow.
Wow,
Because men do
we're
have, much
diverse.
like women, you have a unique experience
Mm-hmm.
with cosplay, so do men. Wow.
Wow,
It's
wow,
almost
different
like it's
experiences.
nuanced.
Whoa. No, we don't
Wow.
clown on everyone. We clown with equity.
Nailed it. Snailed it.
Snailed it.
Um, any other cosplay pet peeves?
Uh, I don't know.
Mine's when you get one contact in and the other one you're just fucking struggling, and the more you try to
Oh,
get it in, the more it won't go in, and by the time you get it
lashes.
in, your eye hurts. Oh fuck!
Oh.
Fuck
And
falsies.
the
Fuck false
eyelashes.
eyelashes.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Throw back to the one time. Oh goodness, Julie, when we did the Madoka and Homura shoot, when it was a
Which one?
location
Hallmat or
shoot,
Momo?
not
Momo.
Momo. Was it my contact that I was having trouble with?
Yeah, and your eyes were you were like sobbing, and you were just
I
fucking
was so
powering through it.
I was so pissed because I liked my makeup, and I was just like, I'm
It
not
was
taking it
cute.
off. But I looked back through some photos recently, and you can kind of just barely see a trail of tears that was on the
Yeah.
foundation.
Actually,
Power
that
through like a
has reminded
trooper.
me. So
Oh.
I really like makeup, like in
Mhm.
general. I like costume makeup, I like daily makeup, I like makeup trends. I like putting makeup on. I like makeup.
Thanks for
And
making me better, Julie.
anytime, color your eyebrows.
No.
That's not my pet peeve. That's just a reminder. um,
For me.
I know I've told you this annoyance, and I
Uh,
might have mentioned it on this podcast, but I hate people who only know how to sew through cosplay talking about sewing and teaching other cosplayers how to sew because they don't actually know how to sew on a
mhm,
technical level. They're
mhm.
they're it's the blind leading the blind. It's the same thing I've noticed with makeup. Cosplay makeup has a look,
Yeah.
and I don't like it. And I don't like that
Uh,
you're only allowed to have like two types of looks. Like I I was doing my Celine makeup test the other day,
mhm.
and Celine is, she's in a small town. It's vaguely like fantasy. She sells flowers. She's not going to have a sharp black eyeliner wing and big dolly lashes. Like
Yeah.
that's not what Celine would look like, but when you look up cosplay makeup on YouTube, that is the only thing you see. I think we need more types of quote unquote cosplay makeup. That's my annoyance.
Because I'm a jump off of that because I agree.
Let's fucking
And
go.
and I the thing is, I've been again, I haven't been touching grass as much as Julie has, so I'm still solidly on the digital sphere, though I don't interact at all. I'm just creeping on everyone.
Nice.
Thank you.
You're like the Watchers.
Ah, look at us! I'm so
Being
proud of
weebs,
us.
being
Eek!
nerds. Anyway, you're creeping.
But I'm creeping, right? And I'm seeing this trend with cosplay makeup that Julie you have acknowledged, and I want to elaborate more on it. I'd say from the in the 2000s, no one knew what makeup was and how to do it.
Oh, it
Uh,
was terrible. We were all using the Maybelline mousse that was always
yeah,
orange and just putting it on with our hands.
yeah, and then we were using like sometimes like a mousse blush, and you know it typically
Oh,
wasn't
it
even
was
yours. It was like your mom's.
yeah, you
And no
sold
one's
it. You
gonna
put
say
it
it's
on at school because you weren't
bad.
allowed to wear makeup.
Yeah, no, 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 no. It's not good. Not
It
good
was
at all.
bad.
Real bad. If you ever, Julie, do you think I should ever make that one picture of Yuki from Vampire Night that you took at Akon? Just because remember I just
Yes.
did that trash.
Yes.
That okay. Us saying don't be trash. That was purposefully trash. That was solidly for the bit. Okay, because that wig wasn't even glued down. That was all for the bit.
It was
Anyway.
so bad.
It was so bad, but that's what made it so good.
You were time traveling with that costume.
Yeah, that was the whole point for it. I was above. I was at the higher
You were being
thinking.
meta.
I was being too meta for the times. I was ahead of the curve.
Anyway, your point.
Anyways, we've seen this trend with makeup occurring. I would say that there was like the baseline of makeup where we'd still have the cosplayers who are based in the West would have your typical Western makeup style. But then slowly with the popularity of YouTube as it increased, we started seeing East Asian makeup starting to be utilized for cosplay, but also keeping in mind that there was a lot that cosplay makeup was primarily utilized for individuals with monolids and specific face shapes. And so we see Westerners steal that and not acknowledge that, wait, this isn't for us. We can alter it to work with our face shape. And also that, there's also times where maybe we need to do a bit more. Every once in a while, I think about trying out the OG type of anime cosplay makeup look where it's a very insane eyeliner heavy look to
The dolly
create
makeup.
yeah, to create the idea of lines like your art. But each time I'm like, dude, I'd look like some old lady, old hag that raided their daughter's closet of makeup. It would look so bad because that's not what my face works best with.
No, it would look
What
really
my,
atrocious.
yeah, because I know what, based off of like working with makeup and doing more with that for like the costume and cosplay field, I've noticed that what a lot of stage makeup is done, as well as a lot of Korean makeup fads, like with the egg yosol and everything like that. That works better on my face shape and with my eyes, just the eye shape. I can't do the others. We have to acknowledge where our physical features won't mesh with what we want it to look like, and then figure out how to
The egg
best work
yolk
with
is the
what we
baby
have.
fat thing, right? Under
Uh huh.
your eye?
Yeah.
I can't do that. I've tried it.
Yeah.
The way my eye shape is, I don't have any volume under my eye. It's
Yeah.
very flat. It goes flat and then into my cheekbone.
Hmm.
It's horrible on me. I tried
Yeah.
it the other day. Atrocious.
Because, like, I think, because you've seen me do my cosplay makeup with the aegosol versus not with the aegosol. I think my
Yeah,
makeup looks better with the aegosol because it helps give that volume that
depends
my.
on the character you're doing.
That's true. There's ones where I've done it where I shouldn't have done it.
Like, would
We.
not do good on Tamaki.
Oh no. Thankfully, I didn't.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
No, that's much more for cutesy characters.
Yeah, but you also have to know that there's different types of makeup for different types of characters. Also, you know what? I know that by now it's commonplace, but we should really be learning more from drag artists as well as from theater
Theater
makeup
kids.
artists. The theater kids, they know, okay? You're already a manga nerd. You're probably already friends with at least one theater nerd, maybe two. Get a stage makeup book. Don't be afraid to try new things. Think outside the box. Just blend. Please blend.
And
Don't
I've
don't do
also
the
had the
old moon lines.
realization today,
Hmm.
actually yesterday and today,
Oh.
black eyeliner does not look good on me.
Do you do you use a dark brown?
Dark brown.
Yep.
Dark brown eyeliner looks a lot better
Hmm.
on the way my face is and the color of my skin. Like
Yeah.
I think what was it like a oh shoot, it's like a soft summer, like in the
Mm.
color theory thing, like almost an autumn. Like I have
Yeah.
very muted differences of tone between my hair, my eyes, and my skin. Black is way too harsh on me. Unless
Yeah.
I'm doing like a goth look, like black works for Guilty Kiss.
Yeah.
Black eyeliner does not work for Celine. It
Mm-mm.
doesn't even really work for Frieren. I need like a dark gray at that point. But
Yeah.
if someone is beginning in cosplay makeup, they're going to see cosplay makeup tutorials where it is cosplayers teaching other cosplayers how to do cosplay makeup instead of makeup artists or a theater
Yeah.
like makeup artist or a drag makeup artist teaching how to enhance and change and alter face shape,
Hmm.
which is really what we should be doing. Like I'm tired of the formula that's the pokey black eyelashes and the big black eyeliner. Also, I have fucking hooded eyes. Can we please get some can we please get some makeup tutorials for
Julie, be the
fucking
change you
hooded
want to see in the
eyes?
world. Lead the
No.
blind. Lead the blind.
No.
Trial and error. Hear me
Um
out.
Also fill in your eyebrows.
I don't want to, Julie.
Fill in your eyebrows. It makes such
Don't
a
tell me what to do.
difference to just
It does.
fill in your
It
eyebrows.
does. Do you remember when I first filled in my eyebrows and it was for when we did that one group photo shoot just at like what was it, the pink house or
Yeah.
whatever? And you were like,
You
Maggie,
were
fill in
you
your
were
brows.
Ichigo.
Yeah. And I was like, no, I've never done that. You do it. And I was like, oh, I understand.
I
It
get
was
it
like a
now.
light opened from the heavens and just threw up this information onto me. I was like, oh, I was dumb. Well, I hate it. I hate to say it. Julie, you were right. Also, when you're filling in your eyebrows, make sure that it's a shade darker than the wig.
Yep.
Make
Yep.
sure it is a shade darker than the wig, because that's what eyebrow color
It
is.
always looks
It's
better.
closer
Always
to
looks
the
better.
roots. It looks so much better. And you
It
can
looks
use
so much better.
eyeshadow. You can use eyeshadow for it.
Oh, I literally own a rainbow eyeshadow palette just for eyebrows.
Mhm.
Just for eyebrows.
I
That's the
have
only
very
purpose it has.
specific. I have specific eyeshadow palettes and like pans that are, it's like, this is for this character's eyes. This is for this one. We have
Oh,
Aladdin.
you want to know a cosplay pet peeve of mine?
Oh.
Minors cosplaying characters explicitly from 18 plus material.
Oh. I
I knew
agree.
it. I knew
Okay.
that was going to get you.
Okay. So it's not only that, all right? I am so
Mm-hmm.
tired of minors cosplaying like costume variants of characters that are way too old. So like there's some like, okay, Love Live. Let's do Love Live as the baseline
We
cuz
love Love Live.
we love Love Live. But Love Live, as any horrific masterpiece of a franchise, starts to
Are
market
you talking about
itself
the
to
Little
some
Devil series?
that and many more, Julie.
That's the first one I always think of is the Little Devil series.
Because the Little
Sorry,
Devil
please
series,
continue.
as with most fantastic
Piece of
marketable
trash.
franchises, you will inevitably get a mobile game with gacha, and that gacha will have JPEG files and little character animations. That may or may not lead to gambling problems. Couldn't be me. But what it will lead to is to the sexualization of minors. And minors always play these games because they're like, oh, they're in high school, I'm in high school too. I can also wear that. That is incorrect. I am tired, dead, tired of minors wearing what is the equivalent of bedroom attire
Lingerie,
to a.
baby.
We don't need lingerie on minors
In
at
public.
cons in public. I have not given consent to that. I don't want that. All right?
Other people do, and that's the problem.
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. I don't want to do it anymore. Now, I will say, Catherine is a different beast altogether because she's supposed to. I could wear it because it's Catherine, and I'm a Catherine, and also it's Catherine, 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 Catherine. However, I wouldn't wear Catherine. Julie, lift up your head so you can look at me while I'm speaking to you. I would never wear Catherine before 8 p.m. at a con.
Actually, yeah, that's the other thing. I'm really tired of people wearing like explicit outfits during the middle of the fucking day at a con.
I don't want you. I don't want to see your bits
Especially at
out.
cons that are advertised
It
for
says
family
family
friendly.
friendly. It makes me
Like there are some
so.
cons that,
Oh,
especially with the rise of ecchi cons, like we have a place for this now.
we have
We
a time
have a
and place.
place.
Yeah,
We have a time and place. Go to the time and place.
yeah.
I'm not saying don't be sexy. I'm not saying that it's illegal to have sexy costumes.
It's
I'm
not.
saying,
Know your audience.
uh, 10 a.m. on a Sunday,
That's a lot.
maybe
I
not the
should be
best
at
choice.
brunch. Okay? If I'm at brunch, I don't want to see pasties. Unless it's a drag brunch, in which case I know what I've signed up for. But if I'm at
I
a
just want to
family
see
con,
pastries.
ugh, pasties for pastries. I like this.
Mhm.
Anyways, if I'm at a con, a family friendly con, which means anyone can go, I
They
don't.
are wanting families to go.
That is their primary demographic. Yes, there's like those signs that'll say, here's what has to be covered, but even then, don't go pushing those boundaries. Because am I a parent? No. Do I ever want to be a parent? No. Have I worked with kids before? Yes. Even then, I would not want kids to be around half of you cosplayers that are out there in less than bathing suits on a con floor. Also,
There's
when
a
you're
time and
wearing that,
place.
I need people to realize, I need the public to realize that you are representing all of us. Okay? This has been an argument time and time again for all the years I've been part of this damn hobby. All right? our silly little hobby where we're just little kids wearing little silly outfits. And if you are of age,
Drinking
you can
silly
have a little
drinks.
silly drink. Only if you're 21 and up and you're drinking responsibly. Okay?
Hmm.
But I if you do one thing, just know you are going to be overgeneralized. If you say one thing
Hmm.
that's dumb and makes you look bad, you're making all of us look bad. All right?
Hmm.
And if you want to wear a sexy cosplay, do that. Sure, but wait until the kids go to bed. Kids go to bed at 8 p.m., all right? 8 p.m., that's when all the after dark programming starts at most conventions. That's when you should be allowed to wear those kinds of outfits.
Just be as slutty as you want at that point. I
Go
encourage it.
for it. Go for
That's
it.
what
We
we
can all
want
be
to
Catherine
see at 8
together.
p.m.
That's all I want at 8
If
p.m.
I'm at a con at
7:59.
8 p.m., that's what I want to see.
If it's 7:59 p.m., I don't want to see nothing. I want your collar buttoned up all the way to your chin. As soon as 8 p.m. comes on, I want the snaps to
Just
just
strip.
just strip. I only want pasties. But until then, give me nothing.
Yeah, I am tired of it. You know what else I'm fucking tired
Be
of?
Catherine until
People.
7:59 and then at 8 p.m. be Catherine.
I am really tired of people where, okay, first of all, we should just
First
start
of
calling
all.
hentai porn
Yeah,
because that's what it is.
hentai is
Hentai is
porn.
pornography. It's pornography. Calling it hentai just makes you feel better about yourself. Second of all, people wearing pornography on their t-shirts, like those ones that are like all the graphic designs put together, where it's like the girl sticking her tongue out waiting for a cum shot. Stop wearing
Don't
those in
do that.
public.
Don't do
Fucking
the
stop.
amigo.
We need
I'm
to
done.
rewind some of our degeneracy because we've
Yeah,
gone too far into acceptance. That's not an okay thing to wear, and I'm not going to pretend like it's an okay thing to wear. It's
yeah.
not. We have to have some fucking line in the sand where you're not allowed to go past it, and this shirt is past that line. Stop wearing pornography in public.
Think to yourself, would you be embarrassed if the first time your best friend's mom meets you, you would have a girl's chest
Big mommy
out?
milkers. Big mommy milkers.
Would you ever want to talk to your best friend's mom
But here's
again
the thing,
after
I don't
that?
think these people
No.
get embarrassed, and I think that's part of the problem.
I think I should start
Learn to be
bullying
embarrassed
everyone.
again.
So what I'm hearing is
Learn to
I
be
should bully
embarrassed.
people. Get ready to be
Yes.
bullied, everyone. You're going to get the full 2000s nerd
Or like
experience.
I was at a con one time that was
Mm.
said to be explicitly family friendly, and
Uh-huh.
there was a girl in a school uniform there with her boyfriend. They must have been in their early 20s, and she was
Mm.
like she was doing something, like she had like a piece of paper on the table and she was writing on it, and I watched her boyfriend stick his hand up her skirt, lift her skirt so I could see her ass and start massaging it. I'm like, "Sir,
Gross!
this is
Sir, that is not
10
the
a.m. on
time!
Saturday. Fucking stop groping
Go
your
to a
girlfriend in
room! Get a room! Get a
public.
room!
We need to have shame again.
This is
I'm tired of
so.
the degeneracy.
Ah! Degeneracy. Like, I want people to start getting ID'd. Have a room for degeneracy, but you can't. You know what? Alright, here's my hot take, alright? You
Oh
ready?
no. Are we getting canceled again?
I just do that every episode now, alright?
Nice.
Woo,
What
go
is it? What's the
us.
take?
I I think that there should be anywhere that's etchy should be 21 and up. I don't think
Yes.
it should be an 18 and up thing at this point. I think that a lot of minors and young adults are not mentally mature enough to consent to either A, be in those types of situations, or B, just be around that type of atmosphere. They don't understand the ideas of consent in different ways. And I understand that young adults and minors, they're still figuring themselves out. They still got a bunch of hormones going on. And you know what? We're US is still a pretty conservative country. Look at what we have ruling us right now, obviously. But just because you are 18 does not mean you automatically understand how these spaces work. It does not make that space safe for anyone. I I think that going forward, conventions and just as a whole, organizations should understand that any 18 and up activities, they should be 21 and up. That's my hot take. And I was thinking about that when I was like just working on some stuff for a potential addition to my horror panel, right? My horror panel, it was for the 18 and up crowd, but even then, I much rather would have had just 21 and up because as an individual who's basically who's ba- who's basically
Say it.
30 30
Yeah! No, be proud, Maggie. We've made it this far.
I have survived
God hasn't killed us yet.
I have survived to almost 30. I don't feel comfortable acting that way in front of anyone who's younger than 21 because we're at a different space mentally.
It's so
If we
funny if you talk to people who are 18 to 21, they think they have it all figured out.
and they
They think
don't
they are
they
a
ain't got shit,
they think
dude.
they're a capital A adult. And I remember
They're not.
thinking I was a capital A adult. But like,
I still don't think I
I'm
am.
almost 30. I own a house. I'm married.
Hmm.
I have an adult job with an
Yeah.
adult mortgage. I have nothing in common with an
Hmm.
18-year-old.
Yeah.
18-year-olds are children.
I honestly don't understand the thought because I've seen just on social media in general, I
A
don't
mistake.
the last con I went to was NDK. I don't even
Nice.
understand the concept of cosplay groups where you're together for one photo for like a photo session, which allows adults and minors together. That to me is insane. Totally different playing field. And there's just so much danger there. And I'm speaking not just for the minors, but for the adults. Because if there is a minor or a young adult, I'm going to say young adult for anyone who's 18 to 20, because they're not an adult. They're not.
They're a lowercase a adult.
They are lowercase a adult. They are going to misconstrue the lines of what an adult is. And that sets people our age up for absolute disaster. It puts us at risk more than anything. Because there's different ways that we interact with people dependent on their age group.
Yeah.
I have heard, I've interacted with a few people that are younger than I, and I've heard that I've been able to pass as someone who's 20 to 22 just based off of the energy I give. And because
Yes.
of that, that puts me in some really bad situations from time to time just because of how people think I am.
Yep.
So that's why whenever Julie and I are out, I just hang out with Julie or anyone who
Honestly,
we know. Because
cons at
otherwise,
this
I don't
point,
feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable interacting with half the people at cons because the way people interact now is not a safe way.
honestly, just need to start handing out two types of lanyards, like two
Yeah.
colors.
Hmm.
18 plus and under 18.
Yeah.
Like like not even if you're going to 18 plus panels. Like I don't even care about that point. I want to because cosplay obscures so much. I want to know
Hmm.
if I am talking to someone who is 17 because that changes the way I will communicate. It
Yep.
changes the way I will act because at that point I now have to be a responsible adult
Hmm.
who is interacting with a minor because everyone who is an adult should change the way they act when they're acting with a teenager to
Yeah.
be more responsible, to be more considerate, to not get too personal.
Yeah.
Like
I
that's the long
I
and
would
short
like
of
to
it.
think I would like to think that I do have that down, especially since I worked with kids for
I'm
such a
so
long
bad at
time.
clocking age. I'm so bad at it. Especially because
Me
these
too.
teenagers, like, they are making themselves look older, man.
It caught it's not just
And then
cosplay.
older
It's
people are
just
making themselves look
teenagers.
younger.
But also, Oh,
Say
people,
it.
my oh, elder people and millennials, millennials. We're aging great out here, baby. Good job, us.
We know what skincare is.
Heh, and that's called
We wear
sunscreen.
sunscreen
Whoo!
and moisturizer.
Yay! But we're aging great, but because young adults and children and minors don't understand not over working with your skin, just doing basic stuff, they are teenagers are aging themselves rapidly and they're coming
Yeah, they are.
across as older. And the impact that the internet and social media has had upon them, totally different. We millennials, this makes it easier for me to say it, Julie. Don't worry, I'm on my acceptance journey, okay? We age better because we were able to have our weird, awkward phases of not knowing how to do anything and kind of work it out. And
Off
even
the
then,
internet.
most of us off the internet, that's true. And even then, most of us, we didn't have that open access to like makeup and all that extra stuff because our parents had to actually parent us, believe it or not. Most of the times, some type of adult was saying, hey, don't go home, go to bed. Why are you staying up so late? No, I don't care that you want to watch Adult Swim and you want to watch this thing called Bleach. Bleach will burn your eyes. Go to bed. And I was like, oh, but mom, there's a stuffed lion and he's so funny. No, that stuffed lion is looking up a girl's skirt. Absolutely not. Go to bed. Ah, you don't understand me, mom. Based off of true events. We don't get that anymore.
Nope.
That's not happening anymore. There is no parenting, there is no expectations for minors, so they automatically hit puberty and like, I'm an adult now. And because of that, millennials and individuals who are like, up, we are having to bear that brunt of children not knowing that the way we interact with them is going to be different. And they can't, yes, you can interact with youngs, with minors, but it can't be in that very deep connection. If you know them and know the parents, maybe a mentor type, but even then, bare minimum, dude. Like, kids have to know how to interact with kids, and adults interact with adults different ways. That's my hot take, man. Developmental skills, they're gone.
Yeah, they are. We as a collective, not just cosplayers, like as a collective need to like get better at understanding social boundaries.
Yeah,
Because like also the number of times I've like hung out with people twice and they've decided I'm their best friend. I'm like, girl, you creepy.
yeah. No,
Like
you
you're
have
not
to.
like
Mm,
like you're not my friend just because we hang out. You can be an
yeah,
acquaintance.
yeah.
I can be friendly. Let's bring back
Agreed.
acquaintances.
Easy. Done.
Let's
Done.
bring back acquaintances. Not everyone needs to be your friend. I don't want to be your friend. I have enough
Hey,
friends. I'm okay.
it's me.
You.
It's me.
Uh, but yeah, those are my cosplay pet peeves and my advice for cosplayers, and I'm ready to get
Yay.
canceled by the 18-year-olds.
Julie, we've already been canceled by the 18-year-olds.
It's
Anyone
okay.
who's
They don't
listening
have
is
power.
the people that are listening to us is uh, our age range in one conservative red pillar. Shout out, shout out to that guy.
Hear
Wait,
me
wait,
out.
okay, yeah.
Individual who has taken the red pill and is a conservative mindset. I
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
you. I was raised conservative. I was very conservative for most of my life. Um, it's not too late. You can join the resistance. You can
That's
be
right.
part of the socialist
That's right.
community.
That's
Feel free to
right.
join us. We're welcoming
Woo!
anyone who wants to come over. It is what it is. We'll forgive you. Just,
We'll forgive
repent,
you.
do better, and keep on trucking. But maybe stop with the red pill stuff.
Anyways, we don't love you, but we love each other. I've been Magpie,
I'm Jules.
and this has been Bunniichii Corner.